Okay, let's get into this deep dive. Picture it. You're in a WWII command tent. It's tense. Maps are everywhere. An officer is leaning over a critical plan, and then he does something almost revolutionary.
He erases a line.
He erases a line, and that simple act, that ability to revise, that's what we're looking at today.
It really is. We're exploring the paradoxical story of the ordinary pencil. The sources we have show this primitive tool became one of the most vital instruments for modern strategy.
Right, and our mission is to figure out why. Because before the war, ink was king. Ink meant authority, finality. Think contracts, official orders.
And war, as the source material really hammers home, war just punishes that kind of certainty. It rewards revision.
So ink just didn't work in the field.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the practical realities. Fountain pens would clog with mud. They'd freeze solid in the winter. We even have accounts of shelling where spilled ink would just blur coordinates into dangerous abstractions.
But you lose all precision.
You lose everything. The ability to not leave a permanent mark became a survival skill.
That's the core of it, isn't it? Ink shouts its mistakes, but graphite, it just sort of whispers.
Exactly. A pencil mark could be lightened or altered or just wiped away completely. That impermanence wasn't just a convenience. It was, I mean this literally, a matter of life and death when you're dealing with constant uncertainty.
It speaks to the psychology of it all.
There's a line in one of our sources that just nails it. Graphite encouraged humility. Ink encouraged certainty. War punished certainty. Planners had to operate in a state of doubt, and the pencil was their tool for that.
Okay, but didn't that flexibility, wordy commanders, if everything could just be erased, how did they track decisions? Where was the accountability?
But that's the genius of it.
Yeah.
And it gets right into plausible deniability. If a draft order written in ink was intercepted by the enemy,
It's proof. It's official intent.
it's official intent, right? But a pencil draft, that could be dismissed. It's provisional. It's a thought experiment. It gave them this incredible layer of strategic protection.
And I'm just imagining the maps. They must have been in constant flux. You couldn't use ink when a railway line vanishes overnight.
You couldn't. Wartime maps were what they called living documents. Cartographers were using pencils to constantly update them, marking enemy positions lightly, because you just couldn't commit to anything permanently.
So you could even have secrecy within the planning process itself.
Yes, secrecy within secrecy. A commander could jot down a sensitive note, something just for him, and then erase it before passing the map up the chain. The information existed, and then it didn't.
And there was a tactical advantage too, right?
Yeah.
Something almost invisible for pilots and navigators.
A huge one. It was about stealth. Graphite reflects light differently than wet ink. In a low-light cockpit or under blackout conditions, a glint off an ink line could potentially betray your position. And even more critically, a pencil works under pressure, not gravity. So in a fighter plane, with all the vibrations and intense G-forces, a fountain pen would fail immediately. The pencil just kept working.
So this all suggests a huge logistical challenge. We're not talking about a few pencils here and there.
We're talking millions. An incredible amount. And this forced a strategic focus on controlling pure graphite sources. To meet the demand, civilian pencil models were stripped down. No lacquer, cheaper wood, anything to get this indispensable tool into every tent and cockpit.
So when you boil it all down, the pencil's greatest contribution wasn't its ability to write something down?
No. It was its quiet assurance that this can still change. It was the ultimate tool for managing doubt.
And ink only came back at the very end.
Only at the very end, when the planning was over and it was time for commitment. Ink marked the point of no return. The pencil absorbed all the uncertainty before that moment.
History always credits the tanks, the bombs, the big machines. But strategy, it seems, began with graphite. So as you look at the challenges in your own life, maybe ask yourself, what important decisions turn not on what's written in ink, but on what you're still allowing yourself to erase?